Why is it still showing me as... Oh, I know why. Now maybe it'll work. So hopefully somebody pops in soon to tell me if this is showing correctly or not, because I'm not loving this. Let's see. That helps. There we go. So if the first person who pops in could tell me if I am showing sideways or correct on your screen, I would very much appreciate it, because I don't usually do horizontal and it's showing vertical on my phone still. So hopefully somebody can let me know one way or the other. Because this looks very strange from my point of view. There we go. We're getting a start. I don't know how long we're going to do today. Mostly I'm just, as always, relaxing and unwinding for a little bit in between getting stuff done around the house. I love this particular picture, and I could not do it in the regular vertical. Hi guys, if you that just popped in could tell me if this is correct, like if you are seeing it horizontal. Hello Edgar, how are you today? I usually post vertical lives, so this is my first time trying to do it horizontal because it's a landscape picture. You're saying good, it looks good, or are we just throwing words up? Either way, I'm going to take it that it looks reasonably a way that makes sense. This is one of my favorite, this is not my work. It is one of my favorite books to color out of. Whoop. I'm going to send you guys flying now. This is the artist. She is incredible. She does have a YouTube page. I will throw a link in the comments later on. But hello, Katie. I think I got myself in a weird balance here, but that's okay. I accidentally almost knocked the entire thing over, so the fact that it just got a little bit off kilter is not terrible, right? But yes, this artist is incredible, and she's one of the few that I've found that does grayscale pictures. Edgar, if you can't watch your language, I will have to have you removed from my chat. I am not, it's not children's content, but there are children who pop onto my page. And I don't have it as adults only, so I do appreciate controlling the language. remove that comment. Juliet, what I normally do is I actually repair and restore yard art. The weather has not been super cooperative of late, so I've been kind of doing other things. If you look on my shorts, I did post today. I was finally able to get the base coat on the bird bath that I'm working on, so I'll actually be able to do a video on that tomorrow. I also post a lot about my cats and dogs and birds and chinchillas and hamsters and the rest of my insane collection of pets. This is just a hobby for me. This is just one of many parts of who I am. And I do apologize for a little bit of grumpiness. How people talk in their own lives is definitely their own choice, but I don't aim to make content for children, but I do try to make things that if somebody's kid comes across it, they're not learning terrible things from my presence. So that is why I had to take care of that little problem very quickly. I am a huge fan of these grayscale pictures, and as I said, I'll pop it up because I'm not sure if I got everybody in here a chance to actually see it. This is the actual artist, and she does have a YouTube channel here and actually does a lot of incredible work. I just happen to be a fan and spent the money on the coloring books. So I've seen her work pop up in books that I've read and things like that as well. So I am a fan, and I will happily help her along because even though she does not need my help. What was that? I hope your 6-year-old little sister isn't posting language like that. But as long as it doesn't happen again, we're fine. I just try to keep it child safe. She's actually not a mermaid. The title of this, let me see if I can bring this down without, is actually Hatchling. She puts the titles of each of her works here. You can kind of see the baby dragon in there. I haven't him yet. I'm kind of debating what color we're going to make him still, so figured I'd do her first. And I do wish my phone would actually show you the color that I am using instead of making it look like I'm just rubbing nothing on the paper. There really is color here, I promise. I'm also not going to advocate abuse of any sort, so I know it's kind of fun to go into people's lives and try and sow chaos, But keep in mind, this is a relaxed, calming page, not, I don't get into the chaos and stuff. I appreciate people coming in and chit-chatting with me, but I would like to keep it as real as possible and not just try to see what kind of mischief we can get away with before I get aggravated. I do these for people to relax too. And apparently that, at least for the moment, did the trick. Hello, hello. I still don't know what color I want to make him. Let's go over here. I need like a tan. Yeah, that should work. Basically all I'm going to do with the egg, I'm not going nuts with it. We're just going to give it a little hint of color. My favorite way of putting it is just a suggestion of color. And if you see the silver in my other hand, I'm holding that so that I can come over top of it with the silver and add just that little hint of shimmer. Okay, so the one thing I am learning is horizontal mode definitely likes to play with the focus a little bit more. But that's okay. There's never any telling who is going to pop in from one moment to the next. It's one of the things I both love and sometimes don't love, is you never know what you're getting from one moment to the next. Sometimes people are here to really connect, and sometimes they're just looking for some attention. And as long as we stay within the bounds and keep it, reasonable, light, and fun, I can handle somebody looking for a little bit of attention. I mean, obviously, for attention is kind of why we go live. This is kind of cool, and I don't know if she did this intentionally, but this looks almost like an arm and chest resting there like an ent or a tree spirit of some sort sitting behind her. And I do appreciate people coming in to hang out. I wish there was a way I could kind of flush my chat to new. I don't get much control over that though, so if somebody wants to come chit-chat with me, and I would very much appreciate it. I know I can go in and delete those. It just takes a few minutes to do. I think I am going to remove this though, because I'm not a big fan of that sort of thing. There we go. It's not something I do all the time. I generally like to let people have their voice. Everybody's so busy talking over everybody else that sometimes it actually can make a huge difference in someone's day if you do give them a chance to have their voice. But you have to keep your boundaries up You've got to keep it within reason. I am going to actually add just a little bit of copper over this one so that we can differentiate between the branches a little bit there. And I do apologize for the way the focus is doing. I was trying something different and went horizontal today instead of vertical. And I think I will probably go back to my vertical tomorrow. It seems a little bit easier. I just had this really pretty horizontal picture that I wanted to give proper camera space to. And I did not have a chance to tag the creator of this artwork in this before I went live today, but I will, when I upload it, I will put her channel in the comments or the description, more than likely. Description makes a lot more sense than comments. But she is an incredible artist, and if you aren't familiar with her, you should definitely check her out. Oh. I was sitting in a very strange way, and my back was not having it. Let's see. And if you hear in the background, I do in fact have Sesame Street playing. I have a and Sesame Street calms them. So I give them what they want so that I get what I want, which is a reasonably quiet time to sit and do a little bit of content. The rest of my content I do in my workshop or outside. This is really the only thing I'll do inside because it doesn't create any fumes that could be harmful to my animals. Just getting all the different browns out of the way. And then we'll do our greens. And then we'll decide on what color this poor little dragon is going to be. Because I just have not decided. If anybody has any suggestions, I would be thrilled to hear them. Because I am just stuck. Been at this for almost 20 minutes and I still have not... I'm kind of going back and forth between green and red. Both of which are very valid dragon colors. I could technically do a blue, but I don't know that I want to do that. But if you have an opinion or a thought, I'd love to hear it. I do still have to go back and do her lips as well. But if you like doing coloring and if you've never done a grayscale book, you should definitely try to get your hands on one. I personally am partial to this one. This artist is incredible and her work is very unique and different. And she also puts two, I'm trying to find it here, because I know I did this one another day. Let's see. I will find it eventually. Here we go. So I did this version a different day. So it gives you the opportunity to actually have some fun with it and do different things and change it up from one day to the next. I did realize I did not finish that picture that day. But that's okay. It happens sometimes. I've only very, very recently started doing lives while coloring, but I've been doing adult coloring for a very long time. So we are going to be creating some shading in that. There is an intention here, and that is just softening that. And then we're going to come over top of that with just a teeny little suggestion of green. Like a rock that's been sitting in the middle of the forest for a very long time. There we go. I do wish some of the softer tones transferred a little bit more from what I see compared to what you guys see. That is probably my only complaint. Just give her a little bit of a lip. Very, very soft hint of color at the cheek. I don't know if you guys can see that really or not yet, but oops, that's a little more than I meant to do. But there's ways around it. Just soften those back up a little bit. And we're going to give her just a hint of purple on her eyes. Very light, very, very, very soft suggestion of eyeshadow. Because who doesn't do their makeup before they go hatch a dragon, right? I think I finally decided on what color my dragon is going to be. I just have to find it. There we go. No super exciting times of pencils breaking immediately after sharpening this time. That happened to me twice yesterday, so I'm kind of happy it didn't happen today. And we are going to go back over him with some deeper tones. I just want this to be a nice base because it is a metallic. And yes, if you're listening, you can hear one of my cockatiels. They are extremely upset with me because they had... I just realized what I did there. That is dress, not dragon. That's a quick and easy fix, though. They had eggs. I gave them a little over a month to see if the eggs would be viable. And unfortunately, none of them were. So I did have to pull those out yesterday. And they are upset with me. But they will get over it. And they will be much happier now that they're able to just be happy little birds puttering around their cage once they realize it. I'm okay with it if they don't ever actually create viable eggs because I don't really overly want to. I never looked to be a cockatiel breeder, and he's quite old. My male is he's right around 28. We don't know precisely, but he's somewhere in the vicinity of 8 years old, so he doesn't really need to be trying to raise babies. But birds are going to be birds. They're going to try and create them. You just let them have their fun. Deal with the aftermath and the aftermath. I am unfortunately not giving the AI very good inspirational stuff to pull for a short today, but that's all right. Not every live needs a short to go with it. I really was expecting this to be a much darker green than it's coming out to be. But that's okay. We'll work with what we've got, right? Or I could just pull a much darker green. Though that looks to be pretty much the exact same color. Hang on. Different brands, same color. I have a lot of colored pencils. It's a whole thing. Okay. How many different versions of the same green do I have? I think this one might be a little darker. It happens. You laugh it off. That's my, that didn't go as planned moment of the day. I hope. I don't need a crazy lot of those. That's a little better. And of course, now I'm by myself again. Just add a little bit of depth in here. Add some green back there. And I think we might go over top of the school green with a little hint of gold, just to give him a little bit of shimmer, because we can. Because he's a cute little baby dragon and he deserves to have a little bit of shimmer, right? Yes, I am quite aware I sound a little bit bonkers, but, you know, let's be real. I am coloring live as an adult. I am a little bit bonkers. And I'm okay with it. Now, I know you guys don't get to really see the shimmer all that much that this does add, but I do see it. So, there we go. Now let's take one of my 3 dozen different shades of the same green and catch these spots that I missed up here. Because we don't want to leave random gray areas where there should be color. There we go. I should have probably sharpened this guy or grabbed one of the 3 dozen sharpened ones I have, but it is what it is. And now, for the final bit, we're going to just do a really, really light hint of blue in the background. My favorite term for it is just a suggestion of color. Doesn't have to be super bright. And we're going to have to put a little hint of green over there. Because trees are not blue. At least most trees are not blue. But that's okay, because as we've established, I have 3 different shades of green. So we can come in here, do this guy. And that's one thing I love about the pre-shaded like this, is there's already all that depth, and I don't have to go in and create it myself. Now, in the little dragon, I did that anyway, but you don't always have to do it. But we hit just over my 30-minute mark that I like to aim for. Had some interesting times early on, and I am going to call it a day, and I will talk to you guys next time.